going on, you guys? It's your boy Alex West Collects here, bringing you the most in-depth action figure reviews here on YouTube. And today we're taking that WWE Mattel Wrestlemania Elite 41 set featuring Bianca Belair, Bret the Hitman Hart, Seth freaking Rollins, and Hulk Hogan. If you are interested in grabbing any of these figures, head over to ringsidecollectibles.com. Use promo code 4LIFE to save 10% off your order at checkout. So think about it. We're in end of September, almost October. WrestleMania is not for many more months, and this is generally when it hits retail. Head over to Ringside, grab the set early if you want it. Avoid the hassle. It's really not that much more than retail, so I highly recommend it. And plus, promo code 4LIFE will save you 10%, so save some cash while you shop at Ringside. I was personally very excited for this set. We do have 4 figures here in the wave, as well as the Howard Finkel Build-A-Figure. But before we get these figures out of the packaging, let's take a look individually at each figure in their box. Here we have Bianca Belair, based off of her WrestleMania 39 gear. You can see the awesome images here. You got the image of Bianca as well as these kind of lights to represent WrestleMania in Vegas. It's kind of crazy that honestly, it'll be here before you know it, right? You got the Bianca Belair nameplate. You'll see the Build-A-Figure for this set is Howard Finkel, based off of WrestleMania 6. Bianca does come with the women's title. She comes with a bunch of interchangeable hands, the glasses. Looks very cool with this kind of red and black and gold design. Cannot wait to get this figure out of the packaging. Take a look at the side. You'll see the Bianca Belair nameplate. The image of Bianca on the other side. You can see the large image with some stats. She does come with the head for your Build-A-Figure here. And if you guys want to pause for the read-up, you can do so. And you can see the other figures in this wave. Let's move on to the next figure, which is Bret the Hitman Hart. Bret Hart in the packaging. Listen, man, when I saw images of this figure, I was like, we'll see how the head looks as a finished product. I feel like this has been a running joke for collectors who've been collecting the Mattel line for a while. And I posted something on Instagram that he looked like an alien. And I'm not gonna lie, in the box, he still kind of looks like an alien. We'll break this figure down once we get him out of the box. But another Bret Hart with a suspect head sculpt. I just don't really get why. I don't know. I feel like now that it's become a thing, you would think maybe they put a little more, or maybe they are. I don't know. They're just missing the boat to kind of just like perfect it and say, I got you guys. We can do much better, and we're gonna show you. But they have yet to prove us wrong yet. But anyways, Bret Hart in the package. You get the image of Bret here again. WrestleMania and the Howard Finkel Build-A-Figure. On the side, you'll see the Bret Hart nameplate, as well as the image of the Hitman. On the back, again, some stats. He does come with a torso, and if you guys would like to pause the read-up, you can do so right here. Here we have Seth freaking Rollins, which is also based on his WrestleMania 39 attire. For the card, you'll see the image of Seth, as well as the little nameplate here. The same images as the other boxes. On the side, you'll see the Seth Rollins nameplate, the image of Seth freaking Rollins. On the back, some stats. He comes with the lower legs to complete your Build-A-Figure Howard Finkel. If you guys would like to pause and look at the read-up, you can do so here. And the last figure in packaging is the Hulkster himself. And you guys, if you have been following my channel for a while, you do know that I am a huge Hulkamaniac. And for some reason, I don't know why, I always loved the Elite 34. That was one of the very first Elite Hulk Hogans to come out. We had a basic set, which had a similar attire, which we will compare with this review. We did get the Defining Moments, and of course the Elite 34, which was a modern-day Hogan. And for some reason, when he came back to the Mattel line, I was kind of really hoping that they would redo this figure with the updated skin tone. And here it is, based off his WrestleMania 30 appearance. Something about this figure looks a little different as far as the head. I'm curious to see if it's just kind of redone or is it a completely new head, but similar formula as the Elite 34, except he does have a soft goods stretchy shirt, looks like. You get a bunch of interchangeable hands. You get the boa. This just looks really nice. I personally will be buying a lot of this figure to, kind of fix some customs I have, which I'll show in this video, but you get the image of the Hulkster here. This just looks really good, man. I don't know. Like I said, I'm a little biased, but you get the Hulk Hogan nameplate, Howard Finkel, also at the bottom. You'll have the Hulk Hogan nameplate. The image of the Hulkster himself, brother. On the back, you got the image of Hulk calling to the crowd, some stats. He comes with the arms and the microphone. I feel like anytime they do Build-A-Figure and Hulk's included, they freaking throw the arms with him because it's like, well, he's going to sell regardless. So here's the little read-up. At WrestleMania 30 in the Superdome, the Immortal One reminisced about slamming Andre the Giant at WrestleMania 3 in the Silverdome. Pretty awesome, but enough chatting. Let's come back. We're going to start off with one of the other figures and go right into the review. We are starting off with Bianca Belair out of her packaging. So let's take a look at all the accessories that are included. As far as interchangeable hands, you'll get a set of the fisted hands. You also will get a set of the open hands for her to do her entrance pose. For your Build-A-Figure piece, you will receive the Howard Finkel Build-A-Figure head. You can take a look at the head. It does have a good likeness. Mine has a few scratches on it, unfortunately. The mustache isn't completely painted on the side. I feel like Mattel QC really has been dropping the ball a little bit more than they used to lately. I hope that kind of gets situated soon. But great likeness to Howard Finkel. I'm excited to build him and put him together. I do have the original, which we will compare. You also do get the Raw Women's Championship belt here. You can see it does have the custom side plates for Bianca here. So if you guys wanted to swap this on some of your older figures, you can get some extras. But looks really nice. It does have the vac finish if you guys want to look at the back. As far as Bianca herself, the head sculpt looks pretty great. She does come with these glasses, which are removable, which we have seen with Bianca Belair figures before. She also does have these earrings, which do come off, if you can see on both sides. I will not remove them because they are a pain in the butt to get back on, and you can easily lose them. But I love the attire with the black and gold. You can see the star with Bianca Belair on the front. Looks really nice. Really matching the colors for WrestleMania 39. You see the rest of her gear. You got the EST on her knee pads. You got the gold boots, which look really nice. I do like how these look. These are, I believe, the new foot articulation mold. You can see here how they are designed. No more basic feet for women, which is really nice. Even more detailing on her arms. You can see the stars and the lips. Same on the other side. They are the pinless arms as well. Take a look at the back. Mainly plain black, but this figure is really nice. If you guys want to go through some quick articulation for Bianca, her head does fully rotate. You got to watch out for that hair. I don't want to knock those earrings out either. Her arms will go fully around. There is a bicep cut. You do have the double jointed pinless elbows here, which get a good range of motion. The hands do also turn and hinge. She does have a little bit of a diaphragm joint action here. The waist swivel. She does do the splits pretty well. Kicks up about that much. Her knees, little stiff, but not too bad. There's the thigh cut. You do have the boot cut. And like I said, you got this new articulation with the feet, which we did review with the Ultimate Edition Series 23 in my most recent video. You can see how much better articulates. I feel like aesthetically, it looks just a lot nicer. There's not as much of a gap. For your Bianca Belair comparisons, we have her Ultimate Edition figure here on the left. I did swap on this larger Raw Women's Championship belt. You see how much better the smaller one looks. Even the kind of gold coloring on the W looks really nice. Ultimate's going to be a little taller. I still think this is without a doubt her best figure, but I'm going to say that this new one is probably her second best figure that we've ever gotten from Mattel, because it is really nice and clean and will pop on your shelf. Get a look at Bret the Alien Hart. I'm sorry, I'm kidding. Bret the Hitman Hart. We'll get into that head sculpt, but let's look at all the accessories that are included. So you will get a set of fisted hands for Bret. You also will get a set of the mic open holding hands. A lot of hands with this elite wave here. And you get the open hands from to his Bret Hart pose. For your Howard Finkel Build-A-Figure part, you do have the torso here. Looks pretty nice. Again, does have the bow tie on here. Cannot wait to finish him off and complete him. But this Bret Hart figure, I believe it's WrestleMania 4 is what the attire is based off of. We're going to get right into it. Let's zoom in. Look at that head. To me, this doesn't look like Bret. I don't know. I mean, I can see where they were going, but it just doesn't look right. It doesn't look natural. It looks like I said, an alien to me. I don't know, just the shape of the face. Doesn't have the best likeness to Bret. I feel like they never know what to do with his hair. Do we sculpt the hair in there? Do we just kind of, comb it to the back? I feel like they did that with one head sculpt, and that's probably the best Bret head sculpt. It was like Elite 95 or whatever that was. It's also on the most recent Defining Moments. But then he's got that big forehead too. So I don't know, man. It's like they can't win with Bret. But I don't know. I just hope at some point they really do nail him and give us the best Bret head sculpt that we can get. But the attire is pretty simple for the most part. You got the black singlet up top. We got the heart here. You do have the pink lower legs. Not a lot of deco on this. You can see the stripe going down. There's the star on the boot. The rest of it is the plain black and pink attire. What you'd expect from a Bret Hart, especially his earlier run in his younger days. He does have the bigger white armbands here. The torso is painted, so you guys will see some color diffraction sometimes with these, or some chips. But for the most part, the figure feels pretty solid. He does have the black knee pads. This also is the new boot mold that we're seeing. If you guys don't understand that, it's the way that it connects to the bottom piece to add more articulation and more stability to it. I did look at some of the Ultimate figures that had this. The peg holes were actually in the back, but looking at these Elites, which we'll compare, I think Bianca's, no, we missed it, is kind of up on the side front here. But the Ultimate figures, if you guys do use ringside display stands, they were in the back. So when you put them on there, they were kind of hanging off, which was a little annoying, but I guess maybe that was kind of a one-off. We'll see with the other Elite figures as we go on with this wave and with future sets. But articulation-wise, The head will fully rotate. The hair gets in the way a little bit. The arms will go fully around. You do have the bicep cut, double jointed pinless elbows. You do have the ab crunch. You do have the waist swivel, which is a little tight, but not too bad. Bret's leg is a little stiff here on the left side. You can see how it has to go back, but not as bad as some of the most recent ones. There is a thigh cut. You do have the double jointed legs. They are pinless, and I'm going to say that just the way they feel, they were a little stiff, so that's why I was checking. They are pinless legs. You do have the boot cut, and again, the articulation on the new boot mold does go up and down pretty good, and also rocks side to side nicely. Starting off our Bret Hart comparison, so we have the Coliseum Collection Ultimate figure here on the left, and on the right we have the Ringside Collectibles Defining Moments exclusive Bret Hart. Height-wise, the Ultimate is going to stand a little taller, but I did want to showcase the difference in the boots. You can see how they kind of line up here and aesthetically look from the front and the side. So if you guys are curious to, or maybe not getting the difference in it, you can see how much more gappage sometimes we get with the older mold. See the bottom of the feet. It looks like the peg holes are in a different spot, but not completely different. But again, I really do like the upgrades. Let's do one more Bret comparison. Some of my favorite Ultimates in my collection. We have the Monday Night Wars Ultimate Edition Bret Hart. I did swap out the head. This is the one I was talking about. I think this is probably the best Bret Hart head, but look how big that forehead looks, and I feel like just flat on the hair maybe could, benefit from a little more arch on the hair sculpt. And then you have the Legends Target Ultimate Edition exclusive. Moving on to Seth freaking Rollins, based off his WrestleMania 39 attire. So again, he did have this ridiculous entrance coat or jacket, whatever you want to call it. Or I don't even know if it could be a jacket or a coat. It's just massive. Could not be included, but they did try it here. So I do applaud Mattel for that. But hands-wise, you get a bunch. Get the open hands for Seth Rollins here. You also do get a set of the mic open holding hands, as well as these gesturing hands, which will 100% go on this figure. If you ask me, I think that's the best way to display him. Comes with the fisted hands. For your Howard Finkel Build-A-Figure parts, we get these standard lower legs that we have been seeing. I don't know why. I feel like that Mr. Perfect Build-A-Figure had the drop-down hips, and they've kind of nixed it. Now it's just kind of just the basic elite articulation. We've seen this leg mold reused with a lot of Build-A-Figures, even the most recent Monday Night Wars Elite Shawn Michaels. Moving on to Rollins, we have seen this head sculpt before. You'll see it looks like a little bit of a different highlight, a little darker, kind of yellowish or blondish look on the hair. He does have the gritting teeth look, which I really do like. You can see how the hair is sculpted here. Take a look on the side here. And on the back of the figure, again, looks really nice with these highlights. He does have the chest hair tattoo, which I do appreciate, chest hair, sorry, which I do appreciate. I was jumping ahead of myself because there is no back tat. And this is something I want to talk about. I feel like Mattel is starting to omit stuff like this off of figures, and I don't like it. They did it with CM Punk and the drug-free tattoos on the Defining Moments figure. Only one set had it. Seth Rollins, this Elite does not have it. His Ultimate coming out with Elton John gear does not have it. That's not cool, man. If you guys can find a way to fit in the budget, then don't skimp out, because to me, this is just lazy or cheap. I know things are expensive, but we should not be losing tattoo deco. If it was on all his previous figures, I don't care if the hair covers it. It's there, right? And it should be there. I just feel like that's something I don't really appreciate, especially how expensive these figures are getting. But looking at the rest of the attire, it does have the white wrist tape. He does have this free-floating belt piece, and that's kind of what I guess they sculpted newly for this figure to kind of get away with using some of the old parts. But the legs actually do look different, I will say. You can see the little sculpting here. That is nice attention to detail. And I can see why if they're spending money on legs, they say, hey, maybe no back tattoo, but then find a way to put it somewhere else, because I think it's just a little skimpy. You can see he does have the pinkish knee pads. He's got the kickers with the two-tone coloring here. The peg holes are on the bottom. Again, these are the new molds, which look pretty nice for the kicker. If you guys want to go through some quick articulation, head will fully rotate. That head does want to come off a little looser than I want, but not terrible. You see it does have a little kind of point where it stops and then comes off. The arms will fully go around. You have the bicep cut, double jointed pinless elbows. The hands will fully rotate and hinge. You get the ab crunch, the waist swivel. Again, a little stiff on the legs, but does do the splits a little better. What's going on with this articulation lately, man? I don't get it. Is it a new factory they're using or new parts? Just something feels different with these figures. He does have a thigh cut. These legs are tight, so I'm going to say they're probably pinless, and they are double jointed knees. You do get the boot cut. Again, these awesome new, these feet just move so much better. I feel like I would be so scared to articulate their boots because their feet would just get so loose or stretched, but I don't feel like that's going to be the case with this new mold. For some quick Seth Rollins comparison, we have some of his modern day figures. We have him in the polka dot Dusty Rhodes troll gear from his Hell in a Cell match versus Cody Rhodes. We also do have the Ultimate Edition. Again, you can see how much bigger this figure is. Same head sculpt that we are reusing here. I don't know about you guys. I just don't. I'm going to say it. I'm not a big fan of this gimmick of Rollins with the crazy outfits. I always liked the Weasel Rollins, the Cash-In Rollins. That was my Rollins. It's crazy he's been around that long. But I know a lot of people are behind it. It's tough for me, man. I don't really get it. The last figure we're taking a look at is the one I was personally most excited for. Again, I am biased. I'm a huge Hulkamaniac. We have the Hulk Hogan Elite figure. A lot of interchangeable hands with the Hulkster. He does come with these fisted hands here. I feel like Hulk always gets a good set of hands. You do have a set of the open hands with the other one on the figure, as well as a set of Mike open holding hands. For your Howard Finkel Build-A-Figure parts, you get the plain black arms, generic to what we've seen with a lot of the Build-A-Figures, double jointed elbows on them. Comes with Mike open holding hands, as well as a set of just open hands for him, I guess, to kind of point or whatever when he's making his announcing. Also, you do, of course, get a microphone, which makes perfect sense for Howard Finkel, based off of WrestleMania 6. The Hulkster also does have this bow, which we have seen before. Again, this is pretty much a rework of the Elite 34. Looks like the paint applications on the bow are a little nicer. It looks to be a little bit of a darker yellow with some darker reds, which we will compare. I do have plenty of the Elite 34, did a lot of customs and fix-ups with that. The Hulkster also does, I'm surprised they went with the darker tan. He's got not the hot dog tan, he's got that roasted tan that we've seen with Hollywood Hogan. And I'll be honest, I think he's a little too tan. I'm going to go out there and say it. I'm surprised they went that route. Personally, because he's just not as tan as he used to be. I think the orange tan would have sufficed, or you know, I don't know. Something in between maybe even, but if I had to pick one, maybe the orange. I don't know. I guess that's kind of why they went in there. I guess the orange tan maybe not fit this era or what. I don't know. I'm rambling. But you can see he does have these bigger arms here that they use, and more the cut defined arms on the Elite 34. Does have this nice soft good shirt. Has these sunglasses. This bandana on this figure is molded on, is not removable, but the glasses do come off. And this looks to be a new Hulk head to me. This does not look to be the Elite 34 head. The bandana does not come off. You can see he does kind of have a little bit of a smile. He does kind of have, I don't know if those are blue eyes. It's hard to tell. They're supposed to be green. I guess they're kind of green, man. But you can see has the Hulkamania font on there. The bandana is sculpted how we've seen before. And he does have this stretchy shirt here, which looks really nice. Has Hulk's rules on it. On the back, you'll see, train, eat your vitamins, say your prayers, believe in yourself, brother Hulk Hogan. That looks really nice. And other details. So you can see, this is a little annoying. You can see some QC issues here. He does have the forearm tattoos, but it's like the elbow is kind of chewed up. So it has the I am that I am tattoo. He does have his forearm tattoo. He also, I believe, has it on this one. It's a little hard to see. I think one says grateful. I forgot what the other one says. It's just hard to see with the dark skin tone. But the torso on mine seems to be a little loose, I'll be honest with you guys. Just you can see it right now when we're playing with it. He does have the back tattoo, if you guys are wondering. I'm going to get to that once I remove the shirt. But just wanted to go through it again. Plain black pants that we've seen before. They did patch in that hole, if you guys do remember that Luke Harper mold. A lot of these jeans molds had kind of a hole in the pocket. You can see they sculpted a piece to put in there. So that looks really nice. Let's go ahead and pop off this head and see how annoying it's going to be to take off this shirt. Maybe it's not so bad because it's a sleeveless shirt. But the head does pop off pretty easily. I do not want to rip the shirt. Oh, man, my torso is just really freaking loose. You can see it there. Looks to be the same torso. The Elite 30 or the Elite 34 cane torso they used for this figure. And sure didn't come off too bad. We'll get them all situated. But like I said, just a little loosey-goosey. Put that head back on there. I wonder if a Hollywood Hogan head will fit on this for some customs. You can see the Immortal tat on his back is there. Looks pretty good. Let's go through some articulation on this figure. The head will fully rotate around. Just got to be careful with the bandana. This head doesn't feel like it wants to pop off loose like the other figure. You can see the arms will go fully around. There is bicep cut. Double jointed pinless elbows. The hands do rotate and hinge. Again, loose on the ab crunch here. Does have the waist swivel, does have the little detail on the black pants. Splits about that much. A little stiff on this side. This side is a little looser. There is a thigh cut. You got the double jointed pin legs. And I believe this is the old foot articulation. Doesn't seem to be anything updated with that. But it will rock and hinge as well. I want to do a ton of comparisons. I want to see if we can swap some heads on here too. We're going to run run through some fun comparisons and swaps here. But before we do, I wanted to bring in the Ultimate Edition Greatest Hits Hollywood Hogan. This is a fix-up I did for WrestleMania 18. You can see the skin tone is the same. They went with the roasted skin tone for this kind of modern-day Hogan, which, again, I feel like it's a little surprising because I don't think it's that dark. But if you guys want to see how deep my obsession goes with the Ultimate Hollywood, this is just my extra heads that I have just for the Ultimate Edition Hollywood Hogan to give you an idea of how many of these I bought. But I want to see if we can swap out some of these Ultimate heads on this figure just to, you know, I've always wanted to create like that return from No Way Out. And I feel like the Elite 34, the heads never fit on there. So let's see if some of these Ultimates would fit on here. And same problem. Looks like he's going to have the giraffe neck syndrome. I feel like some of these heads are really stiff on these from the Hollywood Hogan Ultimate. So I want to be a little careful when I pop on here because I don't want to break this neck peg, but I don't know if any of these are going to work. You'll see this one. And I feel like this one, the straight face skin, was particularly tight on the Ultimate. So like I said, I want to be careful. And then we also do have the screaming skin, which I don't think any of them are going to fit, unfortunately. They all have that giraffe neck syndrome. So if you were hoping to make a return No Way Out Hollywood Hogan, it's not going to work with his body. Here's one more swap I wanted to try. So I do remember this Hulkamania 4th Anniversary 3-pack. Hulk Still Rules Hogan had a longer neck peg. So I'm curious to see if this head would fit on this body and give you a Hollywood Hogan look. And then at that point, you just have to swap out a bandana. So we'll remove this head. We'll remove Hulk Still Rules head. Will it fit? Will it fit? That actually doesn't look awful. It's still a little bit high. But if you guys wanted to swap it and go with a Hollywood bandana, that may be a route to go if you guys want to go that fix up. I'm going to buy so many of these Hogans. It's ridiculous. But he also did have this look with the Hulk Still Rules. I mean, hell, let's try it. We have a weight belt right here. And we can see how this kind of fix up would look if you guys wanted to go. Man, this actually looks pretty money right now. Obviously, you change out the shirt. We do have some Hulk Rules shirts or some Hulkamania shirts you can put on to make it more accurate. But it doesn't look awful. The head, again, sits a little high, but a little better than the Ultimate heads. So we have seen this Hulk Hogan look before. We've seen it as a basic in a WrestleMania set. We've also seen it in the Elite 34, and these figures are most similar. If you guys want to bring them in real close, you can see the different coloration on the boa. The new one looks to be a little brighter, a lot less red versus the Elite 34, and they are both removable. Both have the yellow sunglasses that did come with, but for review's sake, we'll leave them off here. And if you guys want to compare the head sculpts here, let's zoom in. You can see these are reworked heads. This one just seems to be a little meatier. Like Hogan's got a little more size to him as he's gotten older. Definitely a brand new head. You can see how much bigger the Hulkamania logo is on there. Again, you can see the cloth shirt versus the rubber molded shirt that we did get. This didn't even have any deco on the back. I mean, obviously it's a different shirt. Didn't have the Hulk Rules, but this came with a yellow Hulk Rules shirt to go with it as well. See the difference in the type of arms they use, the skin tone. I really like the application of the tattoo a little better here. I guess because the pinless, you can see how the tattoo kind of eats into it. He also did have the wrist tattoos on both of these figures, which are a little hard to see, but you guys want to quickly see they both do have them on the detailing. Both do have the Immortal tattoo as well. You'll see it's even a different bandana sculpt. Look how much longer this is in the back versus the original one. Wow. One thing to note, I did add this cross necklace, which I will definitely be throwing on this one, but I swapped out his boots for sneakers, and I think that just takes it 100 miles further, man. It just looks so much better because Hogan was wearing the Jordans during this time and still is to this day, but huge upgrade if you ask me over the Elite 34. The last Hogan comparison I have for you guys, this is a couple of TNA run Hogan fix-ups that I did using the Elite 34. You could see him here in his last kind of singles match run versus Sting. I definitely want to try to use this figure to make this, but I don't know if I'm going to have any taped hands to make it work, especially with the skin tone. I would have loved to have redone this one, but this is using a Jax Deluxe TNA head, so obviously that skin tone won't match, but definitely some different ideas that you can really run with the streakier Hogan. Our last figure from this set, we have the Build-A-Figure Howard Finkel all assembled together. I will say it took a little bit to kind of port the torso into the legs, so kind of put it in there and twist, but it doesn't feel, look at that, as seamless as some of the most recent Build-A-Figures, especially the non-suited figures. I feel like a lot of these parts kind of want to pop off, but the head is definitely an upgrade. Here's the original version. You'll see the new one is a little taller. I think it's because of the legs, the new mold. But you'll see the head sculpt, how far we've come. Again, it definitely looks a lot better on the newer one. Even the suit, you can see it's the 3 buttons versus the 2 buttons here. So I think the new Howard Finkel is definitely an upgrade. He does have the boot mold, unfortunately, and not the shoes. So I may have to look at my parts bin and see if I could swap them out, because I think that would just look a little more accurate. If you guys have enjoyed this video review, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think of this brand new WrestleMania Elite set and if it'll be added to your collection. Please make sure to turn on those notification bells to stay tuned to the newest action figure reviews here on my YouTube channel. Subscribing really does help me out, so I do appreciate you guys all tuning in. Let's get into it. My personal take on this full wave. We're going to rank them from my least favorite to my favorite and give some more insight. So I'm going to start off with Bret Hart. That's going to be my least favorite figure from this wave at number 5. I just don't like the head sculpt. The attire is not exactly something we've seen before, but I just don't feel like it stands out. At number 4, I'm going to go with Seth Rollins. The figure is good. I do like the attire. It does pop, but I don't know. I just feel like it doesn't feel as special at the entrance gear, and I'm not saying they should have included by any means, but I just feel like there's some other better figures from this set. At number 3, I'm going to go with Bianca Belair. I really do like the attire. It just looks so Hollywood to me, and it really correlates well on figure 4. At number 2, I'm going to go with the Build-A-Figure Howard Finkel. It's a nice upgrade over the original. I will say the head sculpt is a little better. The Build-A-Figure parts do seem to be, not want to be as seamlessly, to stay in within the joints. I feel like the arms do want to pop out a little bit, and it was a little annoying to get the lower torso in, but definitely glad to get the Fink back in the line for guys who missed out the first initial release as a Build-A-Figure. Number 1, I'm biased. Hulk Hogan. I love this figure. I'm going to be buying multiples. This thing just looks so damn toyetic. I love all the accessories. I added the cross necklace to plus it up. Love the new head sculpt. I love the longer bandana. He's got all his tattoos, the stretchy shirt, the boa. If there's any gripes, I'm going to say I think the skin tone is a little dark for this era of Hogan, but I think this probably fits better than the hot dog tan now that I've thought about it. And I wish we could have gotten the sneakers instead of the boots. I have an extra set in my parts bin. I'm going to swap them out. I'm going to be buying multiples of this Hogan, but this was a really fun set to review for you guys. You can see this one ran a little long. I just had so much fun playing with these figures. These are now shipping from ringsidecollectibles.com. You guys shop these promo code for life. It'll save you 10% off your order. Before you go, don't forget to follow me on TikTok and Instagram at AlexWestCollects. Thank you again for tuning in, all your continued support. We got a lot of reviews coming, so stay tuned to my YouTube channel.